Hey guys, JK95 here. Sorry I haven't uploaded in almost a month. I've been very busy with my other projects and other stuff going on during the quarantine. But today I'm finally uploading a video and just want to share my thoughts on something. So this past Sunday, Family Guy aired a new episode. So Family Guy over the past several years been like one new low after another. And this past week's episode, I think, hit the show's all-time low. So this past week's episode opens with the radio announcing these new hosts in place of these two radio hosts on Family Guy known as Weenie and the Bud after they were accused in the Me Too movement. And a good chunk of this story parodies that whole movement, which I'm not going to share my opinion of. I, as somebody used to be a fan of Seth MacFarlane's work, I can tell you now that Seth, I don't think you're qualified to be talking about these kinds of issues, especially after the episodes Seahorse Seashell Party, Screams of Silence, the story of Brenda Q, Peter harassment, etc., etc. I don't think Seth MacFarlane should be doing this, handling that type of sensitive material given his history. But back to the episode. Throughout the episode, one storyline is following, like, everybody getting accused in Me Too, and then, like, a fight between Suey, Chris, and Brian, like, ended causing $3,000 worth of property damage. And then they try to find a way to raise the money, and they set up a fake Kickstarter thing to try to raise the money, but then they ended up raising $1.5 million instead of their $3,000 goal. So of course they make the movie that they promised to make for this fake project. And they ended up making it. They got on the cast. They did that casting couch thing. I'm disgusted at what Harvey Weinstein did and the idea of his casting couch. I myself am disgusted at that, but like, I honestly don't think Seth MacFarlane should be handling this type of material, and I feel like he's just sunk to a new low as far as Family Guy is concerned. So, the previous episodes that I mentioned, like Peter harassment, for example, the basic premise of that is like Peter getting harassed by his female boss at work after he loses glasses and has to wear contact lenses. That episode doesn't really handle that issue very well, even though another episode of Family Guy called Quagmire's Quagmire handled that episode much better. Both of those episodes have the theme of, like, men being victims of sexual harassment too, but they just did not handle those properly in Peter harassment. They handled it okay in Quagmire's Quagmire. But then there's Seahorse Seashell Party, which basically ends with, like, Meg being in an abusive family and believing her sole purpose is to be the family's punching bag. That is a horrible lesson to teach people. And it gets even worse in the episode Screams of Silence, the story of Brenda Q, where after an accident in the Lance Quagmire in the hospital, his sister Brenda and her abusive boyfriend Jeff come to visit, and it's causing all kinds of drama. And the episode does more to, like, punish the victim rather than the abuser, and depicts it in a completely inaccurate light. That episode in particular got a lot of controversy from women's rights groups, and that episode aired back to back right after Seahorse Seashell Party. And then, like, these newer episodes, like Dean Apartment 23, Brian writes a insensitive off-color tweet, and, like, his life is practically ruined because of that. But Brian Griffin has become, like, a Class A certified scumbag. This is why I'm officially done with Family Guy for good. There aren't any, if any, redeemable characters left, with the possible exception of Chris. Then again, in one episode, Chris rejected a pretty girl's homecoming dance offer because he had like 20-something windows of hardcore porn on his laptop. Like, seriously. It's like, last week's episode in particular, it just felt like Seth MacFarlane. It just showed his desperation. He's like, it's like he's saying, "Look, look at this happening! Laugh, laugh! God damn you! Tell me that I matter! Tell me that I'm funny!" Seriously, that's what I got out of last week's episode, Seth MacFarlane. While we're on the subject, another reason Family Guy's been sucking hard, especially the past few years, really more so is because a few years ago, 21st Century Fox merged with the Walt Disney Company, and Disney, we all know how they are. We all know how they operate. We don't have to go into any further detail. Now the show has to be watered down to like PG-13 level. Yeah, if you ask me, I notice a hidden talent that Seth seems to have, and we see it all the time in old Family Guy versus new Family Guy, which to me are like watching two completely different shows, that Seth seems to be really, really good at singing, especially in those Brian and Stewie episodes. A certain somebody I know on YouTube suggested that he like pursues singing as a primary career talent. Because apparently me and this certain somebody are in agreement that 2010's Family Guy is a completely different show than 2000's Family Guy and when it first aired. And also another thing I'd like to bring up is I'm not a fan of some of the people in Seth's inner circle, and he's basically best friends with Bill Maher. I pretty much hate with a burning passion. No need to go into any further detail. All I'm saying is Family Guy hit a striking new low with this previous episode. I'm probably not going to be watching ever again. Well, that is it for today, folks. Once again, I apologize for not uploading for like almost a month. Like I said before, I've been doing stuff related to my other projects and been preoccupied with my quarantine time. Long story short, Family Guy just hit a new low with last week's episode, and I'm pretty much done with the show. That's it for today, folks. JK95 here. Peace out.